All right, here. This is it. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining me in here today. And in today's stream here today, we've got something special planned here for you. Your plan. Guess what? I think a plan is always really important because there is a 6P slogan that is always important to keep in mind. And it is proper prior planning prevents poor performance. And so whether you are running a business or you work in somebody else's business, but in both cases, your income and your impact depends on your ability to drum up more business and grow. Well, guess what? Today is really a great episode here for you to join in on. And I appreciate you taking the time. We only go for about 15 odd minutes and so, and always questions and answers are always provided within the stream, either during or after. So anything, always type away. It's great to have you here. So I'm actually going to do a screen share here. So I've got a few things that I'm going to be sharing with you here. So let's just have a quick look at the screen. Share screen. Yes, indeed. Application. A few slides that I'm going to share with you here. And there we go. Oh my goodness. Who is this handsome fella? Right, that is obviously me, not really in the outfit that I'm wearing today. It is a bit of a hot day here, but guess what? Yes, we are looking at your plan. Your plan, because we are coming to the end of 2020, and there's probably a thing or two that you've learned from, this really odd and challenging year in many respects, but also challenges always creates opportunities for growth, both on a personal level as well as a business level. And so I'd really like you to think about it as we're going into this, how can you create a plan together, knowing what you now know from 2020 to take into 2021 next year, and allowing you to really crush it then. So with that being said, let's see now that next slide here, shall we? All right, bang. How do you plan to make the most of 2021? I'm going to share this here with you. You see this beautiful picture. And again, as we are now, going from this one year to another, I'd like you to already go into your diary, right? As I am also, here, whether it's your phone or you still got one of those old ones where you write everything down, you got your calendar, your diary. And it's important that you set and forget certain things in that diary. The picture here provides you with an idea that you need to prioritize the right thing over other things. And we always know that there's not enough time to do everything. There is always enough time to do what's most important. But what is most important is what most people really scratch their head around. They don't know what is really important. And so to help you plan to make the most of 2021, it's important that we first look at what are the big rocks in your year. Because chances are that you are probably a human just like I am, who actually doesn't keep go all the time, isn't a robot, needs sleep, needs a bit of personal time, needs family time, downtime, sports, physical activity, all of this sort of stuff. And unless you plan for it, it won't happen. Who has been ever in the case where you get so busy and you forget about, for example, exercise? You are so busy, for example, that you skip meals. You are so busy at some stage that you just forget about catching up with your friends and just have some fun time. You're so busy in building up your business, and suddenly, you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, maybe even longer. And you're sacrificing on other things that are equally, if not more important as well. All in an attempt to find some time, be able to kind of lay back, walk out, and have a self-managed business. Guess what? If you're waiting for this to happen, there's going to be a skeleton sooner or later sitting on a bench, and it might be either yourself or somebody who has been really very patient with you to stick with it, but it was just too long. And so what are the big rocks in your diary that you want to carve out well up front? I'd suggest that probably every 90 days or so, you want to have a specific amount of time, a few days with the family, just to do some fun stuff away. And that is your reward. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. And it is the sort of things that really keep everything in check, right? And you need that to be able to provide, or let's say, give everything you've got in the business, right? So the next thing then is also, so let's say first park out your personal time every 90 days. When are you going to take a week or so just to relax and enjoy life to the fullest. Also, here and there, what are some other things on the shorter term, 1 days that you could kind of build in for either you as a couple with your spouse or your partner, or you with your kids and so on. It's important that we carve out those times, special moments with both quality and quantity of time, just for the sake of you and your loved ones, right? And that's pretty much it. That's your rocks there. The second thing then is your pebbles. It's the things that really will drive the needle for your business. And for example, one of them is planning times, reflection times, business planning, strategy, all of these are times and blocks of time that you actually put into your diary well before you actually are getting there. So January, what are you going to do? What are you doing right now, for example? Are you taking a few days to actually, reflect and learn and kind of really summarize your learning lessons and your action plan in terms of what you are going to do differently, right? So sit down with that. Maybe you got time scheduled also with a coach, whether it is your PT, your personal trainer, it is your business coach, your life coach, it's your mentoring group, your mastermind. These are times that you again schedule well in advance for the entire year. The same also with your own team. Your team needs certain guidance. Your team can benefit from reflection and brainstorming and team building and retreats and awards and all sorts of things, recognition and so on. And so these are all pebbles that you schedule well in advance. Certain times you might do your huddles every day for, let's say, 10 minutes or so, but then you got your monthly meetings or your weekly meetings on top of that separately in the diary. Then you've got your quarterly sessions, which are a bit more strategic and a bit more advanced. Then you got your training sessions that you want to kind of slot in with your team. And so all of this requires time. And unless you schedule it well in advance, it won't happen in the first place. And so the last thing you want is to really fill up your diary with trivia, with things that are not really important, with things that don't really rock your boat or don't really, have a big impact that allow you to grow your business and scale it up and make more money, yes, but so that you can actually keep growing. And again, it's so easy to fill our diaries with stuff that doesn't matter, isn't it? Watching TV and all of that. That might be nice and lighthearted, and I did it last night as well, but we cannot have too much of that because that's just the sand and the water. It doesn't really make a difference. It's not going to lift you up unless it's a really good program on personal education or so on. And so it's important that we, again, make the distinction between rocks, which are the first things to put in. Your big things on a personal and a family level that you block out and well in advance for the entire year. Secondly, your pebbles. Your pebbles are all the things that will drive the needle forward for your team and you in your business. And so those are the things you plan well in advance. Training, coaching, masterminds, one-on-one stuff, group stuff, all of that. Reflection time, learning like how we're going to do things differently, brainstorming, all of this happens on the pebbles level. Next then, your sand and your water, that's just really the stuff that you do all after. But again, it's in varying degrees of priority. Okay, now with that being said, that was just the first point of it. The second one is really something to, again, keep in mind, and therefore not just keep in mind, but do something with it. Think about like how in 2020 you might have been busy being busy. You've done stuff, but it didn't really generate great outcomes. You might learn from that. I learn also from the things that I know that I've done that didn't really move the needle, that didn't really drive revenue, that didn't really, make a big difference out there, that didn't add value to clients and all that sort of stuff. So busy being busy, it's so easy to consume time, to use time, to burn time. But guess what? Busy being productive is about getting clarity again about what will be the very things that really, if you do them and you keep doing them consistently and well, will amount for the biggest impact and therefore the biggest results that you can think about. So busy being busy on one hand is just you being flat out stressed, overwhelmed, feeling drained on an energetically level and that sort of stuff. That's the rat race. You don't want to be there. And it's just being too much in, reactive mode rather than proactive mode. So busy being productive on the other side is about being productive and knowing exactly what your high value activities are. And then not only knowing them, but then also putting the rubber to the road and doing them. Not just once, not just twice, not just for as long as it kind of you wanted to and then gave up. No, it's about just doing what you should be doing all the time until you make it work. Because mastery, really, we don't know it. It doesn't happen with the first 1, 2, 3 times. So it's very easy to kind of let go of something that didn't work. I'm probably right now also, after many months, I'll openly share with you that there's one particular initiative that I've done, and I'm not yet seeing the results that I would like to see, but I'm committed to mastery. And therefore, I'm still looking at refining and learning with other great people to help me master this craft, master the skill set. And that's really what champions typically do. They do things whether they like it or not. They stick at it long enough until they make it work, what first failed. And so busy being busy versus busy being productive. Let's really, again, get serious about what the distinction is and what typically the activities are that will help us succeed greatly in our business. Now, next thing here is the push versus pull idea. And you can see that push versus pull, that is really a marketing term, which as you're looking for growth and scalability in your business, there's two things really from a marketing perspective and a business development perspective that we can do. One is pushing stuff out, and the other way is to generate demand coming back to us. And I'd like you again to think about, as you are planning for a bigger year in 2021, knowing what has happened in 2020, think again about like what are your different sort of activities and value adding campaigns, if you like, to drive both push and pull, because you don't want to be too much caught up in either one of them. You need both of them, but it depends on your products, your services, your clients, who you want to serve, at the price points you're serving, and so on and so forth. So it's about really getting clarity again about your plan, like how you will be pushing certain campaigns, products and services out in the market through, for example, networking, business networking, through, for example, proactive ads that are driving a call to action in your marketing, that sort of stuff, outbound calls, booking meetings with decision makers, and then, presenting a solution to them and all that sort of stuff. That's your push, very traditional type of way. Try to close deals very quickly. But it's so much smarter to also have a schedule, to have a plan, to have an action plan and a business plan around how to create more demand that comes back to you from the right type of people. So how can you work with lead generation? How can you not just do it in a paid sort of fashion where people don't get a lot of value along the way, but how can you use education in your business to inspire, add value, inform, motivate, and inspire your ideal next clients, and therefore create an experience with them in your marketing that allows these people to contact you when they are ready to talk to you. And by the time that they do, typically when you do this really well, they will be so well qualified, therefore ready to buy, so that you don't have to really sell anymore. And so I think it's really, this is the day and age where this pull sort of marketing campaigns are driving so much value and revenue and profit. And so how, as part of your plan for 2021, are you going to use the push and pull differentiation? Last but not least, you might at some stage, get a bit overwhelmed because there's so much to do. There's so much information out there on what to do and how to grow a business and how to scale and all of that. But sometimes we get stuck in overwhelm. We get overloaded with information and we don't really know how to make it work for us in our respective industry and business. And so if this is you, here's what I would recommend you to look at next. There is a specific website here that I have built for people that are in business and are, where their income relies on their ability to grow their client base and make more sales. And if this is you, I'll share that link with you in just a moment. As you go through this very website, you'll see that I share there my 5-step strategy for helping you scale your business and live the life you want. So if you had enough of the same old, let's figure out how we can help you. All you got to do is watch the video, and you won't just see, the theory behind it. You'll actually see real people just like you who openly shared what, let's say, we have done and how that has made a difference for them. And so if you were to like what they're about, you can happily also then schedule a call with me personally so that I can walk you through a couple of things here. I get to know you. I get to see a little bit like what you're doing. And then most importantly, we can actually help to devise a plan together so that your 2021 is going to be a kick-ass year. The thing is, there's always success possible, but sometimes you need some extra guidance, mentoring, and coaching. And so that is really what we provide under the Impact umbrella. So with that being said, I appreciate you joining. I see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to talk about, let me think, what was it again? I think it was about the goals or something. I forgot exactly now what we're going to cover. But anyway, I'll be back here 12 o'clock South Australian time. That is ACDT, 12 o'clock for about 50 odd minutes and so. And I look forward to seeing you again there. Thoughts and questions, always very welcome. And once again, if you're ready to take it to the next level and talk to another professional coach to talk to you about your business, well, guess what? Go through the process on the website and we'll get to see and talk to each other very soon. Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.